The Young and the Restless Spoilers. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is a beautiful day, but things in Genoa City are absolutely falling apart. We have so much to unpack from this latest episode, so grab a snack, settle in, and let's get right into the madness. I cannot believe they just did that. I am literally vibrating with anger and shock right now. I mean, we all knew this storyline with Diane being kidnapped and Patty Williams lurking around was going to explode, but I did not see this coming. Not in a million years. React first, explain later, right? But I am so mad, so heartbroken, and yet I absolutely cannot look away. Jack is bleeding out, Kyle is completely losing his mind, and Patty Williams is out here dropping the most nuclear truth bombs in the history of this show. And I just need to scream about it for a minute with people who actually understand my pain. Let's start with Jack Abbott. Oh my God, Jack. Am I the only one who is just sick and tired of seeing this man suffer? I've been watching since 2015, and this is the worst, best thing they've done to him. Jack is the absolute heart and soul of the Abbott family. Seeing him lying there in that hospital bed, hooked up to all those machines, the eerie silence of the room, it was chilling. The lighting in that scene was so dark and moody, it literally gave me goosebumps. Jack was just trying to find his missing wife. He was just trying to save Diane from whatever twisted padded cell nightmare Patty and Markham put her in. And what does he get for it? A knife to the gut. Stabbing Jack Abbott? Really? I am furious. But at the same time, Peter Bergman's acting leading up to this has been phenomenal. You could feel his desperation in every single scene. And then there is the hospital itself. It was so quiet. Too quiet. You know that feeling when the calm before the storm is actually worse than the actual storm? That's exactly what this felt like. Kyle is pacing the halls. The monitors are beeping in the background, and I am just sitting here yelling at my screen. Where is the security? Where are the police? Which brings me to my next massive point of frustration. How on earth is Patty Williams still walking the streets of Genoa City? I'm sorry, but the GCPD is a complete and utter joke. You have a known psychopath who poisoned Summer Newman, faked identities, and just tried to blackmail Jack into sleeping with her on a yacht, and you don't have enough evidence to arrest her? Are you kidding me? Detective Burrow was literally just at the Abbott mansion, asking if Diane ran away, completely oblivious to the fact that Patty is running a criminal enterprise right under their noses. The incompetence is staggering. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me take a breath. Okay, back to the point. Kyle. Poor, naive, hot-headed Kyle Abbott. He is absolutely furious. And honestly, I don't blame him one bit. His dad is fighting for his life, his mom is missing, and he wants revenge. He is seeing red. Kyle has convinced himself that Dr. Lawrence Markham is the root of all evil here. And sure, Markham is a total creep. We saw him lock Diane in that room with the barred windows and the Alain Laurent books. Kyle thinks if he can just find Markham, he can fix everything. He can save his mom, avenge his dad, and be the hero of the Abbott family. But Kyle has absolutely no idea what he is actually walking into. He is playing checkers, while Patty Williams is out here playing 4D chess. So Kyle is on the warpath, right? He's probably ready to tear the city apart looking for this doctor. And who steps out of the shadows to intercept him? Patty freaking Williams. The scene where she corners Kyle. Oh my God, the tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. Stacy Hyduck is just brilliant, let's be real. She plays crazy so well. Patty has that smug, delusional, terrifying little smile on her face. She knows she holds all the cards. She knows the police can't touch her because they don't have concrete proof yet. So she just casually strolls up to the son of the man she is obsessed with, and she decides to burn his entire world to the ground. I cannot even process what she said next. Patty looks Kyle dead in the eye, and she tells him the secret. She tells him that Jack Abbott is not his father. She tells him that Dr. Lawrence Markham is his real biological dad. I'm sorry, but what? I literally dropped what I was holding. I had to rewind the episode 3 times to make sure I heard her right. Patty claims that Diane cheated on Jack with Markham back in the day, and that Markham is back in Genoa City, specifically to find his son, Kyle. Markham wants Kyle. My jaw is still on the floor. Now, let's pause and really think about this. Remember when they tried a massive paternity twist with Jack back in the day? Or when Victor brought in Marco Anicelli to take over Jack's life? Yeah, didn't work then either. This show loves to mess with Jack's legacy. But Kyle's paternity? Kyle has been the Abbott heir for his entire adult life. He runs Jabot. He has the Abbott charm. To suddenly strip that away from him and say he is the spawn of a corrupt, kidnapping psychiatrist? It is wild. But here is the thing. Is Patty lying? We all know Patty is completely unhinged. She lives in a fantasy world. She might just be saying this to torture Kyle because she is mad that Jack rejected her blackmail attempt. She is a known liar. But, and this is a huge but, what if she is actually telling the truth? Sometimes I contradict myself because I'm emotional and figuring out my thoughts as I type, but hear me out. Why would Markham go to such extreme lengths to kidnap Diane? Why hold her in a room? Why partner with Patty? If he is just some random doctor Patty paid off, it doesn't make sense for him to stick around and risk going to prison. But if he has a personal vendetta, if he wants his son back, suddenly all the puzzle pieces start fitting together in this sick, twisted way. If Markham is Kyle's dad, this whole storyline just elevated from a standard kidnapping plot to a generational family tragedy. And let's talk about Diane Jenkins for a second. Because if this is true, Diane is the absolute worst. I know some people are loving this Diane redemption arc they've been pushing for the last year, but personally, I have never bought it. Diane has always been a manipulator. She faked her own death. She abandoned Kyle. So the idea that she slept with Markham, got pregnant, and passed Kyle off as Jack's son to secure her place in the Abbott family? That is 100% classic Diane Jenkins. She brings destruction wherever she goes. Jack has defended her, fought for her, alienated people for her, and now he is bleeding out in a hospital bed because of the mess she created. I am so mad at her right now, I can barely see straight. The psychological breakdown we are about to see from Kyle is going to be Emmy-worthy. Michael Mealer's face, when Patty dropped that bomb, he looked like all the air had been sucked out of his lungs. He was panicking. You could see his entire identity shattering in real time. Who is he if he isn't an Abbott? What does this mean for his place at Jabot? What does this mean for his relationship with Jack? Even if Jack survives, and he better survive, or I am rioting, how do they move past this? Kyle has a father who is a monster. A man who might be responsible for stabbing the only real dad Kyle has ever known. It is Shakespearean levels of tragic. I am just spiraling, thinking about the implications. What if Markham isn't even just Markham? The timeline notes mention that Markham had books by Dr. Alan Laurent in that weird barred room. Some fans have been theorizing that Markham is actually Martin Laurent with a surgically altered face. If that's true, how does the timeline work with Kyle's conception? Was Martin around back then? Or did Diane sleep with the real Markham and Martin stole his identity? My brain is literally hurting trying to connect all these dots, but I am so here for the drama. It is messy, it is complicated, and it is classic soap opera gold. I just can't get over the absolute audacity of Patty Williams. She is completely untouchable right now. Tracy was pressing her. Jack threatened her with the mental facility, and Patty just laughed in their faces. She is a menace. And the fact that she chose this exact moment, while Jack is fighting for his life, to rip Kyle's world apart, it proves how deeply evil she can be when she feels rejected. She doesn't care about collateral damage. She only cares about possessing Jack, and if she can't have him, she will destroy his legacy. Taking away his son is the ultimate revenge. So what happens next? Kyle is in full panic mode. He doesn't know what the hell is going on. Does he confront Diane? He can't. She's locked up. Does he confront Markham? He doesn't know where he is. Does he tell Jack? He can't. Jack is unconscious. Kyle is completely isolated with this horrific information. I predict he is going to go off the rails. We are going to see a dark, reckless Kyle. He might even team up with Victor Newman or someone dangerous just to get the resources to hunt Markham down. Because right now, Kyle has nothing to lose. His name, his family, his history, it was all a lie. I'm sorry. I just need to vent a little more about the hospital scenes because they were just so beautifully heartbreaking. Seeing Jack so vulnerable. This is a man who has fought Victor Newman, who has built empires, who has survived so much. And to be taken down in the shadows by some lunatic doctor because of his wife's past? It's just not fair. I want Jack to wake up. I want him to banish Diane from Genoa City forever. And I want him to adopt Kyle all over again, just to prove a point. Because biology doesn't make you a father, love does. And Jack has loved Kyle with everything he has. But man, the fallout from this is going to be nuclear. Summer's going to have to deal with this. The whole Abbott family is going to be turned upside down. Tracy is going to be heartbroken. And Patty? Patty is probably going to skip out of town or end up in a padded cell right next to Diane. Honestly, I hope Phyllis and Sharon find Diane first, just so Phyllis can laugh in her face before they rescue her. Because Phyllis has warned everyone about Diane from day one. Phyllis was right. I really need to try and get some sleep, even though my adrenaline is through the roof. I am dreading and anticipating tomorrow's episode at the exact same time. Will Kyle get a DNA test? Will Jack wake up? Will Markham finally show his face to his son? Let me know what you guys think. Am I the only one who thinks Patty might be lying? Or do you think this is the ultimate Diane betrayal? I can't wait to see how this plays out. This show is driving me crazy, but I love it so much.